What do you get when you combine two massive monsters from two different universes? Well, the final word monster from Underworld is exactly what you might expect to get. Although at first we could only speculate about what the movie's final monster was until director William Eubanks confirmed it was definitely Cthulhu. But it's definitely not the Lovecraft Cthulhu we know, but we rather see it as a combination of the mighty Clover and Cthulhu. Or if you ask us, we'd say Clover Thulu. Okay, that's probably the weirdest name you might have heard of, and you don't need to pay attention to that. I know my sense of humor is all over the place. Now, coming back to the topic, what are these monsters really? How big are they? And are these monsters capable of challenging our already established kaijus? These are the type of questions we usually have whenever there's a new monster in the market. But don't worry, we'll try to answer as many questions as we can with this video. So, Underwater was released earlier this year, although it was filmed 3 years ago, and even after being finally unleashed on audiences with minimal fanfare, the alien-aping sci-fi thriller is probably the most frustrating kind of January movie. One that's almost, kind of, nearly worth seeing. To be honest, it's a good movie, but it got soggy, turning into an average one instead. Starring Kristen Stewart, Underwater tells the tale of a crew of underwater engineers who take part in Tian Industries' efforts at drilling into the Mariana Trench, the deepest underwater trench in the world, for resource extraction. Now, the deep waters are exactly places where giant monsters reside, and it's a world completely different and unknown. The monster in Underwater is disturbing to say the least, having a gelatinous, pale, and bony appearance. It's a carefully designed creature that forms part of a long tradition of movie monsters and rings true to real life. Those who spend their time searching the internet for images of what lies beneath the murky depths might recognize in the underwater monster the elongated body of an oarfish, the wispy gelatin of a salp, the clouded eyes of a frilled shark, the needle-like teeth and vampire egg of a fangtooth fish. If you've seen the movie, you'll agree that Underwater clearly takes several cues from Ridley Scott's Alien as well. In both, the crew initially encounters the monster in infant form, a creepy fetal creature unlike any witnessed before. The monster in Underwater expresses the same viciousness as Alien Xenomorph, an unrelenting threat of single-minded determination. The titles are similar, a single word that underlines the main threat in the movie. In Alien, the Xenomorph, in Underwater, the environment. Although some critics panned Underwater as a subaquatic Alien ripoff, it is measured in its homage to the classic sci-fi movie. It takes inspiration but presents something new. Although so far Underwater has been criticized by some for how long the film takes to actually reveal its monster. With that being said, fans of the monster movie genre will do well to check out the new film, as its main creature is, in fact, bigger than one of cinema's greatest monsters, one of which is Godzilla. Yeah, you heard that right. Underwater sea monster is larger than Godzilla as well. This revelation comes to us courtesy of director Eubank via his Twitter account. With a handy outline of other creature feature favorites, Eubank proves that not only does Underwater's behemoth tower above the king of monsters, but also above every other cinematic monster, including Cloverfield's Clover and King Kong. Also, after Eubank revealed that the monster in the film is in fact Cthulhu, the fans will probably not complain much. Talking about fans, even before Eubanks revealing the nature of the final word monster, there were fan theories already suggesting that the gargantuan beast was none other than Lovecraftian horror Cthulhu. Now, since we're talking about Cthulhu, some of you may not still know what sort of a being it is. Well, it's a monster devised by writer H.P. Lovecraft in the 1920s. Cthulhu is a comic horror that poses a threat to all humanity, both in the original story, The Call of Cthulhu, that's how Lovecraft pronounced it by the way, and now in Underwater. Both the movie and the book introduce the rise of the monster with an earthquake, a precursor to the true horror. Like most of you know, Cthulhu is a great old one, a sleeping prehistoric god, and in Underwater, Cthulhu is undercover accidentally thanks to corporate greed. The final word monster in Underwater represents a threat of unprecedented scale. It's a gargantuan god, and with its tentacled face and threat of full existential annihilation, it elicits pictures of Cthulhu, a malevolent water god. Lovecraft describes it as follows: A monster of vaguely anthropoid outline, nonetheless with an octopus-like head whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly rubbery-looking physique, prodigious claws on hind and fore toes, and prolonged slim wings behind. To anyone leaving the theaters after watching Underwater, this description is eerily associated, taking the amalgamation of all the viewers' worst fears regarding the ocean to new, otherworldly heights. It's a shame we don't have more movies that take place underwater. The deep seas hold the same sort of mystery and potential for horror as deep space. But unlike with space, we know the oceans are teeming with life. William Eubanks' recent blockbuster, Underwater, leans into these innate seafaring fears hard. And even though the movie underwhelms greatly, the prospect of getting to see this monster being portrayed again is nothing short of exciting. People love monsters and kaijus, but there's something pretty special about the ones that lurk beneath the depth of the oceans. These apex creatures are a different breed altogether, be it the king of monsters, Godzilla, the mighty Kraken, the giant Clover, or Cthulhu. So that was all for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to keep watching more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. For more videos like these, stay tuned to our channel and we will see you in the next one.